Minister of Educational Transformation, the Honorable Chad Blackman. Education Officer at the Ministry of Educational Transformation, Ms. Tanya Bino. The Parapathetic Teacher for Reading at the Ministry of Educational Transformation, Ms. Shamel Edwards. Principal of St. Giles Primary, Mr. Stuart Mears. Teachers, staff, specially invited guests, students, and media personnel. It is my honor this morning to welcome you all here to our opening ceremony for Literacy Week 2005. Literacy is an essential part. Oh, sorry. Yes, you can have a seat. Sorry. Literacy is an essential part of the lives of every individual as it empowers us, enables effective communication, and is fundamental for personal, economic, and social development. It provides the skills necessary to understand written and spoken text and participate fully in civic life. It facilitates employment opportunities, economic competitiveness, social equity, digital literacy, 21st century skills, lifelong learning, civic engagement, mental health and well-being, and globalization. Prioritizing literacy for our younger generation is therefore paramount as we seek to navigate a complex, interconnected, and dynamic world. By investing in literacy education, be it financial, digital, or climate literacy, we equip young persons with the tools they need to thrive in today's global environment. It cannot be part of the strategy, it is the strategy. Consequently, we at St. Giles recognize the need to ensure that students are exposed to the requisite information and skills to enhance their literacy development. We are truly humbled by your presence here today as we launch Literacy Week at our school. At this time, I would like to invite Ms. Carlisha Pollard to lead us in prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Can we all stand, please? You can clasp your hands and close your eyes, students. Let's say together the Lord's Prayer. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Keep your heads bowed and your eyes closed. Heavenly and most gracious Father, we honor and reverence you today. We thank you for this new day, this new week, and this new month. We thank you for the gift of wisdom, discernment, and understanding. For this literacy week, we lift up all those who may think they are incapable to read or write. That as your word says, to not be afraid or dismayed, to cast all our cares unto you. May those who think they are not capable of success in literacy, that you would provide divine encouragement and intervention in opening doors of opportunity. We ask for renewed passion, desire, and effectiveness for our principal, senior teachers, educators, school monitors, mentors, school leaders, and organizations who are dedicated to promoting literacy, that they may find innovation and meaningful opportunities to bring, as well as improve learning to every local community. Grant us, your children, the discernment and wisdom to recognize the importance of literacy and the motivation to actively participate, as well as revolutionize the fostering of reading and writing to this and the next generation of world leaders. provide the right guidance, leadership, learning innovations, as well as educational resources to support our learners and educators. May your spirit, your word, your knowledge, and your will be spread throughout this nation, transforming and renewing the lives and minds of your people, building a brighter, stronger, diverse, and more sustainable future for generations to come. We speak this with all authority in no other name but the name of Jesus Christ, and everyone says, Amen. You may have your seat.
Thank you, Ms. Pollard. I must apologize to our guests here today. I introduced all of them, but I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Neil Daisley. I'm the senior teacher here at St. Giles Primary, and I will be your MC for this morning. At this time, I want to welcome Ms. Shakaya Elliott to give the student welcome.
Welcome. Welcome to our Literacy Week. Anything is possible. It is time to soar, and there is so much more. From reading picnics to a reading bus, come and celebrate. Reading is a must.
Yes, wonderful job, Shakaya. At this time, I would like to introduce our principal, Mr. Stuart Mears, as he comes to give his remarks.
Good morning to the school. All right. It is such a joy to see all of your bright, happy faces as we open our Literacy Week 2025 here at the St. Giles Primary School. A very special welcome to our guest of honor, the Honorable Chad Blackman, Minister of Educational Transformation. Minister, we are delighted to have you with us today. Thank you for supporting our school and our mission to build strong, confident readers and writers. I also want to warmly welcome our education officer, Ms. Tanya Bynum, peripatetic teacher, Ms. Shamel Edwards, and all of the other members of the St. Giles family. We are so happy you're part of our literacy journey this week. This year, the International Literacy Day theme was promoting literacy in a digital era. That means reading and writing is still very, very important. But now, we also learn through technology. Whether you're reading a storybook, typing on your computer, or exploring content on your phone or tablet, literacy helps us grow and discover new worlds. And this ties in perfectly with our national theme for the school year. Nothing is impossible. At St. Giles, we believe that every student can achieve great things. When you believe in yourself, work hard, keep reading, there's nothing you cannot do. We have lots of exciting activities planned this week, and our welcome this morning by our student kind of hinted at it. We are going to be having those literacy picnics where you'll be coming outside and reading under the trees, spreading out on blankets. We have fun sessions with the St. Michael's Regathering Literacy Committee. They'll be joining us as well this week. And to close out the week, we have the Sandals Foundation Reading Bus coming, and they always bring stories of excitement wherever they go. So, boys and girls, as we begin this special week, let's remember, reading takes us on adventures. Writing helps us share our voices. And learning in a digital world opens endless possibilities. Let's make this Literacy Week fun, creative, and full of imagination. Because here at St. Giles Primary, we want you to soar. Soar means strengthen our ability to read. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful Literacy Week 2025.
Thank you, Principal Mears. As I alluded to earlier, we here at St. Giles are dedicated to promoting literacy. And as a result, I would like to invite some students, selected students from classes 3 and 4. They are going to present to us a poem entitled The Library.
The library. It looked like a building when you pass it on the street. Made of stone and glass and marble. Made of iron and concrete.
But once inside, you can ride a camel or a train. Visit Rome, Siam or Nome.
Feel a hurricane. Meet a king. Learn to sing. How to bake pie.
Go to sea. Plant a tree.
Find how airplanes fly.
Train a horse. And of course, have all the dogs you'd like. See the moon, a sandy dune, or catch a whopping pike.
Everything that books can bring, you'll find inside these walls.
A world is there for you to share when adventure calls.
You cannot tell its magic
You cannot tell its magic
by the way the building looks,
by the way the building looks.
but there's wonderment within it.
But there's wonderment within it.
The
The wonderment of books.
At this time, I would like to invite the other senior teacher, Miss Gwendolyn Carter, as she introduces our guest speaker today. Sorry. Okay. Clearly, for those of you who are familiar with St. Giles Primary, this is not Miss Gwendolyn Carter. Instead, we are going to have Miss Andrea Williams doing the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daisley. The Honorable Chad Blackman, Minister of Educational Transformation, has served previously as the Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment with over 20 years of experience in international development. He possesses tremendous insight to the myriad of challenges and opportunities faced by the countries in the Global South. Minister Blackman previously served as a consultant in youth development at the Commonwealth Secretariat in London, as well as a partner in St. Lucia law firm with a specialization in international trade and data protection law. He served as Barbados' ambassador to the United Nations at Geneva, Vienna, and Rome, as well as ambassador to Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, and Serbia. During his tenure, he served in various committees in the WTO, UNCTAD, including chair of the Trade and Environment Committee and Trade and Development Committee of the WTO, the president of the G77 and China in Geneva, as well as on the global board of the UN International Gender Champions. Additionally, Minister Blackman served as the coordinator of the CIS group and was vice president of the executive bureau, both in UNCTAD. He later joined the International Labour Organization as senior advisor to the Director General with responsibility in cabinet for Latin America and the Caribbean, Africa and Arab states, external relations, legal affairs, the ILO's tribunal and corporate services. Minister Blackman has both the LLB Law and LLM International Law Trade from the University of Essex in the United Kingdom, and he is fluent in French as well. At this time, I introduce to you the Honorable Chad Blackman, Minister of Educational Transformation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Let's try this one more time. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to you too. Principal Stuart Mears, members of staff, teachers, parents, students, members of the St. Giles family and community. It's certainly a very happy time for me to be here this morning, not just because it's Monday and the start of a new week, but what you've embarked upon here this morning in the context of literacy certainly, to my mind, presents an excellent opportunity for not just your school and the community to take note of this fantastic initiative through literacy, but it really should serve as a reminder to the rest of the country with respect to what the importance of literacy means to Barbados and the future of our country. And I just want to spend a few moments, because of course I know you have to get on with teaching and learning and running the school. But suffice it to say, this morning is really about ensuring that we understand the importance of literacy, what it means in an ever-changing world, and how can this school and all of our schools and the entire country play a significant role in transforming the development of Barbados through education, through literacy. And therefore, of course, when you look at what literacy means at its basic function, we have to ensure that every single person in this country who passes through our education system, who of course will then go on to be productive adolescents and productive adults, can read. Why is that important? If you can't read, as they say that old saying goes, you can't succeed. As simple as that may seem, it also therefore means that anything that you want to do, you have to be able to navigate life. You have to be able to read what is in front of you. If a bus is coming and you see the words going across the front, the destination, you have to be able to read. If you're crossing the road and there's a sign across the road that you need to see, you have to be able to read. If you go into the supermarket and you want to read an item and words on an item that you want to purchase, you have to be able to read. And therefore, reading is not just simply an academic exercise. It is about ensuring, thank you, it is about ensuring that we give all of our students the ability to navigate life itself long after you have left school. And it is therefore one of the reasons why the Ministry of Educational Transformation has made a very clear commitment, and through the ministerial statement that I would have given to the country in August, that all of our children must be able to read by the age of 7. Now, is that, of course, an ambitious and bold declaration? It is. But we must ensure that it is so as to ensure that by that time, they can navigate the other things that will be built upon the ability to read. And therefore, the training, of course, in the snappy sounds, of course, and the different programs that we are offering our students through our training of our teachers is to make sure that they have the ability to do that as they go on. But in addition to that, what are we trying to do? The ministry has set, you can hold that for me. I know what I really want to say. The ministry has set the bold declaration that in order for us to transform this country and the future generation, all of you young children here will one day either be the teachers at this school and other schools. Some of you are going into sport and politics and business and whatever areas of endeavor. But in order for us to do that, we set the bold declaration that within 7 years, we want to create the best education system anywhere in the world. And it therefore means that every part of our education system and transformation has to be the best. And when you break it down into its smallest component, literacy, the ability to read in an ever-changing world where literacy is not just reading these books as you have here, which is of course important, but as the principal rightly said, in a digital world where a lot of, or perhaps even now, most of everything that we do is now online and now in a notebook or now in a device, you have to navigate two things: the ability to read in the traditional format and the ability to read in a digital space. But digital literacy also means that you have to be able to navigate the digital world. And with every opportunity, there are always sometimes some challenges. And the question now becomes, how do we ensure that our young people and those who interface with the digital world have the tools and skills to be able to navigate that space? And it is also the reason, therefore, that the Ministry of Educational Transformation, working, of course, with other partners, not just in government, but within the private sector and the non-governmental aspects of our country, we're going to roll out a major literacy program, helping our children and our country to be able not just to read, but to master the art of reading. And it therefore means that in addition to what we're doing in our schools, the country itself must now become a country that is focused on literacy. The question we have to ask ourselves to this generation, what is Barbados' superpower? I repeat, this generation must ask itself, what is Barbados' superpower? This is a country, of course, not having any military might, any large set of oil or gas reserves, or bauxite or gold. But our comparative advantage, our strength, our superpower is the ability to lead in thought and to influence decisions around the world. This is the superpower of Barbados. Our history and our DNA has shown that. And therefore, as we help our children to read, who then go on to become, of course, productive adolescents and adults to read, we're preparing them to lead the world. And leading the world means not just having the title of being a leader, but being able to influence every generation of Barbadians to do great things. Our motto speaks to pride, and it speaks to industry. And if we are to now ensure that Barbados continues to be a country that can provide a quality of life for our people, at the basic core of our development, everyone must have the ability and tool to navigate life and to read. Its sister component, of course, is numeracy, but we're not going to focus on that today. But every single child must be able to navigate life as they read. And what does it do? It allows for them to have a sense of confidence, understanding self. What's the young lady who gave the introduction there? Shakaya. And I want to commend publicly young Shakaya. Where is she? Where is she? Shakaya, where are you? She has to perform, so she's gone. Okay. Well, I want to commend publicly young Shakaya for not just coming out here and reciting that poem this morning, but demonstrating ably in front of all of you, and in front of the press, and in front of the principal, and of course in front of the minister, the ability to convey thoughts in confidence and self at such a very young age. And Mr. Principal, and to your teachers, I want to commend all of you because clearly, and her parents, because clearly you're doing not just something right, you're doing a lot that is right in nurturing that confidence. Every one of these children in here that you see, all of our children around the country today, God has blessed them with an ability of some sort. The question is, how do we now help them to unearth it and to unleash it so that they can not just be confident in self, but that they can also now share their ideas through reading, through being able to communicate thoughts. We were having a chat in the office before we came out, and I've said it time and time and time again. Part of the unfortunate legacy of colonialism in Barbados is that even in our schools, yes, sometimes children are very talkative. I was one of those students at school. Chad, you talking too much. Stop talking, Chad. Not realizing that I had something in me. Of course, at that time, you didn't know what it was. But I had something in me that I wanted to communicate my thoughts and my ideas. And the idea, therefore, that we, in our society, tell our children, stop talking, put your hands on your lips. But then when they become age 13, 14, 15, we expect them to do what? Be the greatest orators on earth. It cannot work. And therefore, as Minister of Educational Transformation, as part of the transformation, we must now unlock the ability that these young children have in them. Because it cannot be that simply that their counterparts at the age of 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 all the way up in the United States and Europe can communicate effectively and with confidence and can read with confidence, because the society, both at home and at school, helps them to unearth that ability to do so. But here, we try to historically keep them quiet. And am I saying children are to be disruptive in class? No. But equally, we must find ways and innovative ways of ensuring that they can do that. And that's why I want to commend you guys for the literacy picnics. I don't know if my schedule will allow, but let me know, Principal Stewart, when they are, so that I can at least pop in on one of the picnics and see how they're going. Because that is the kind of innovative and fun ways of ensuring that reading is therefore a day-to-day reality. Reading is not simply an 8 to 4 exercise in a school. Reading is not an exercise only at home or evenings when mommy and daddy are doing homework with you. It must now become the bread and butter of the future development of our country. And that is why over the next few weeks, we're going to see an aggressive rollout of a literacy program in this country, the likes of which none has seen before, that will capture the imagination of Barbados. Reading, as I said, has to be our country's superpower. which goes on to help us to do many, many, many other things. Many of the challenges we're now seeing with our young people sometimes comes as a result, not always the only case, but sometimes when you peel back, a lot of them simply can't read. And it manifests in many things through frustration and areas that we could have limited before with the right intervention. That is why we're placing such significant focus on literacy and helping our children to read. Just as we did in the 80s and 90s and said that tourism is our business and everyone has to play their part, every single aspect of our society must now play its part in ensuring that we can have, first of all, a country that has a citizenry that can read. As I said, secondly, we are working towards ensuring that every child can read by the age of 7. Going forward, of course, there's some challenges, and where they exist, we will ensure that we give all the necessary tools and resources to close those gaps. And parents have a strategic role to play, and I want to speak to the parents through the media. Parents, of course, you're busy with raising your family and with work, but if you want to give your child a global head start and to make sure that these children who you've brought into the world can be prepared for the future and to lead the future, you have to ensure that reading and helping them to read is key. And that's why I said that parents have a strategic role, and part of that literacy program and its rollout will be also an adult component to the literacy program. Because let's face it, even though it's not a comfortable thing many times for our people in society to treat to, there's still a lot of our adults who find challenges with reading. And that is why the adult aspect of the literacy program rollout is going to be so key. And it's going to be done all across the country in different community centers and different schools, on evening and online, meeting people where they're at, so that it then becomes a national movement. Reading and literacy has to be a national movement. It is not simply an 8 to 4 exercise in the confines of a school. So I simply want to, as I said at the onset, commend Principal Stewart and his teachers and his staff and this school for being a beacon of excellence and for having the fortitude and foresight to bring this initiative, not just in the context of literacy, but doing it in a way that captures the imagination, capturing the minds of these young students here. And long after they have left this school, I'm sure that this would therefore serve as one of many catalysts that will help them to ignite their imagination and to help them to lead the world. What are we trying to do here in transformation of education? Not just simply to transform a system that we've inherited largely from the British, but we are now redefining what education anywhere in the world must look like. Barbados, we lead the world right now in the agenda of the transformation on treating to the issues of the climate crisis. We are leading the agenda on the issues of sustainability and how do we now grow a global economy, but anchored in ways that still saves the planet. And equally, we're now doing so in education, leading the world, as I said, to be the number 1 in 7 years and showing the world what education must look like. If we can do all these other things, we've done it in cricket, we've done it in sports, we've done it in music through one of our national heroes, the very excellent Robin Rihanna Fenty. It therefore means we can do it in education. And everything that you do in schools, as principals, as teachers, as grown men, as staff, you are also therefore helping to shape what education around the world looks like. So this is an effort that all of us must now use as part of our development for the future of Barbados. So once again, thank you very much. This is an excellent initiative, and long may this school, St. Giles Primary, and all of our schools in our country continue to live that ethos. And it's not a pledge, it is actually a mandate that nothing is impossible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Blackman, for that riveting presentation. And to add to the last thing that Minister Blackman said, nothing is impossible, but here at St. Giles, we like to say that anything is possible. And I hope that you students recognize that you are the key to making anything possible. At this time, we're going to have a presentation of certificates to students who would have participated in the Barbados Postal Service 54th International Letter Writing Competition. The students did a wonderful, wonderful job, and as such, we must. Oh, okay. And as such, we want to recognize their efforts, and we will call on Minister Blackman again to make those presentations to the students.
Don't give up, don't walk away, 'cause life is beautiful. So count your blessings when they want it. Look all around you, count your blessings one by one. Yeah. So much to be grateful for, your blessings one by one. Yeah. Just might surprise you just how much God has done. Yeah. So count your blessings one by one, one by one by one by one. So count your blessings one by one, one by one by one by one. Say I cannot deny, that me coulda ever really make it in a life. Nah, nah. Thank you, Father, 'cause you always provide everything when we need, on my needs you supply. You supply, yes you supply. I remember when we were kids, we never had too much of us, enough food we live. Sometimes we don't have food, I just want in the fridge. But through the house full up, I love me feel like I'm rich, like me grow up privileged. Thank the Lord for humble beginnings. Me never switch up for material things. We're grateful for everything God bring. John Yard and fisherman I sing. So count your blessings one by one. Yeah. Look all around you, count your blessings one by one. Yeah. So much to be grateful for, your blessings one by one. Yeah. Just might surprise you just how much Jah has done. Yeah. So count your blessings one by one, one by one, one by.
At this time, I want to invite one of my esteemed colleagues, Miss Joyanne Innes, to give our vote of thanks.
Good morning, distinguished guests, colleagues, students, parents, and friends. It is both an honor and a privilege to extend the vote of thanks on behalf of the administration, staff, and students of St. Giles Primary School as we bring to close this morning's opening ceremony of Literacy Week 2025. The words "thank you" may seem simple, yet they convey the depth of our collective appreciation to all who have contributed to making this occasion both memorable and inspiring. First and foremost, we express our profound gratitude to our chief guest, the Honorable Chad Blackman, Minister of Education Transformation, for gracing us with his presence and for his most insightful and motivational address. Sir, your words have reinforced the truth that literacy is not merely a skill, but a cornerstone of empowerment, equity, and national development as we embrace and shape education transformation. We are deeply honored by your participation. Our sincere appreciation is also extended to our principal, Mr. Stuart Mears, for his steadfast leadership, vision, and dedication to academic excellence. Mr. Mears, your continued encouragement and support has been invaluable in ensuring that Literacy Week remains a significant and enriching tradition within our school community. We also extend thanks to Mr. Neil Daisley for his warm opening remarks, Ms. Carlisha Pollard for leading us so reverently in prayer, and Shakayla Elliott for the gracious student welcome. Heartfelt thanks as well to the students of Class 3 and 4 for the delightful and expressive rendition of the poem The Library, which so beautifully captured the spirit of our celebration. And I'm now understanding that that was composed by Miss Hunt, Miss Marcia Hunt. A special and deep deserved word of appreciation must be extended to the Literacy Committee under the exemplary leadership of Miss Marcia Hunt. Your meticulous planning, creative ideas, and tireless dedication has ensured that this year's Literacy Week has been both meaningful and seamlessly executed. Your commitment to promoting literacy and a love for reading among our students truly embodies the theme of this celebration. We also acknowledge the invaluable contributions of our teachers, support staff, and administrative teams, whose efforts behind the scenes have made this program possible. Your cooperation and professionalism continue to uphold the high standards of our school. To our parents and guardians, we offer heartfelt thanks for your continuous encouragement, participation, and support. Your involvement in your children's educational journey is both recognized and deeply appreciated. We must also recognize and thank the members of the media for their presence and support. Your coverage helps to highlight the importance of literacy and education in our nation's development, and we value your role in sharing our achievements with the wider community. And finally, to our students, we commend you for your enthusiasm, creativity, and active engagement. Your curiosity and love for learning are what drive the success of initiatives such as this. In conclusion, an event of this caliber does not materialize overnight. It is a combination of planning, collaboration, and shared passion for literacy and education. To each individual who has contributed in any way, however small, we extend our sincere and lasting gratitude. Thank you all for joining us today, and may the spirit of Literacy Week 2025 continue to inspire a lifelong love for reading and learning in us all. Have a pleasant day.